I hear this one quite often. People I meet in my day-to-day life, and people that I used to do consultations with, and myself when I was going through it. And that is looking for motivation. I don't have the motivation to make all these changes. And we can build something so big in our heads that it paralyzes us. You know, I can't remember the saying, but over-analysis causes paralysis, something along those lines. You can over-analyze something and build it into something that it really isn't. And usually with a recovery, it's the simple things done consistently that make the biggest changes. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out there because people make a lot of money out of people's ignorance. And I wouldn't say ignorance, people are searching for answers, and people capitalize on that by trying to make it seem something it really isn't. And the simple things don't cost money, especially when they're done consistently. They produce the best results. Fixing your sleep, for example, is, I'd say, the number one thing when it comes to recovering from any health condition. So here you are, you're looking at your life, you're looking at all the things you need to do, and you're saying to yourself, I just don't have the motivation. Now, if you wait for motivation to change your life, you're going to be waiting a very long time, because motivation is very fleeting. What you need to do is what I did during my recovery, is I need to write a list of things that I can do on a daily basis to lay that brick, that foundation for that house I'm building, one brick a day. So I'd write down, right, James, what do I need to do? What do I know is good for me? What has all my research led to? Sean Stevenson says, get away from screens a few hours before bed. Use that time to unwind. Right, cool. We'll put that on my list. I know gluten is not aiding me in my recovery. I don't know for sure whether it's actually an allergen of mine yet, but I know it's probably not helping. You know, I can do some Google searches and they'll ridicule people for taking gluten out of their diet if they're not 100% diagnosed with celiacs. But you know what? I'm going to take it out. I know these packaged foods aren't doing me any good. So I just, little changes, write in a list, and no matter how I felt, I would wake up that day and go, I feel like shit today, but I'm going to stick to this list. And that's what I did. I stuck to those changes day after day, week after week, month after month. And that's what got me out the hole. Suddenly, when I'm waking up and I go, I don't feel bad anymore. I've got energy this morning. Motivation becomes much easier. But don't allow the feelings that circulate in your body to dictate the changes you make every day, because you'll be waiting a very long time. And the worst thing to live with is regret. Don't live with regret of wanting to make changes and never doing it, because you'll look back and time will have passed and your suffering would have got worse. The pressure of life is building on you, and you could have made the changes before. But don't dwell. If you're here today, you're here today. But today can be the change. Today can be the turning point. And if you ever listen to people that have recovered, there is a point they get to where enough is enough, and they make the changes regardless of their motivation levels, and they change their life. I'm happy with that.